morning, everyone. I'm your teacher for today, Teacher Shelly, for our day 2, week 19, for our maritime lesson. Alright, maritime English lesson. And for today, since this is our second day, we have to continue with our different types of vessels. And as discussed from our previous week, for the types of vessels, we had already uh, discussed about the container, the bulk, and the tanker. So, for today, another type of vessel, alright? So, this is the Roro type. Alright. So, the example of a Roro type is a PC and a PCC. Okay. So, the, what do you mean by PCC? It's a pure car carrier. Okay? And the PCTC is a pure car and truck carrier. Alright? Now later, I will discuss the difference, alright, of the two. And we also have another example of a cargo vessel, which is a live tank. Okay? A live tank. And another is a reefer vessel. Alright? So, also we have a heavy lift type of vessel. Okay. As we go on, I will discuss it with you. The difference, alright? And we also have a cruise ship. This one is a cruise ship. Okay. Another uh, heavy lift, or they call it as HTV, is this one. Alright, this is an example of a HTV. Okay, heavy size vessel, heavy lift. Okay, now yes. So the first type of cargo passenger as a continuation is a ro-ro ship. Now, what do you mean by ro-ro ship? This is a roll on, roll off type of vessel. Okay, this one. This one is designed, okay, to carry cars or wheeled cargo, meaning there's wheels. Okay, so wheeled cargo like cars, of course, this one. Okay, it can also carry this rural vessel. It carry trucks. Alright, buses. Okay, so that's what Roro ship is. This is a specialized type of vessel. The PCTC and the Okay. So let's discuss about this pure car carrier. Yes, this one is exclusively designed to carry or to transport cars, and always remember light vehicles. Light vehicles. Okay? For pure car carrier. Alright. Light vehicles. And for the pure car and truck carrier, this one. Alright? This is also, as I mentioned, that it carries or it transports a wider range of wheeled cargo. Okay? But this includes, it also carries cars, okay, and trucks and buses. But the difference is that they carry how they go on uh, with the difference of the two. Okay, one is the for the PCC, it operates on high volume dedicated car route. All right, high volume meaning uh, they can they can transport from like for example from Europe to Korea. They can transport around more than 5,000 cars, 5,000 number of cars. Okay, that's only an example. All right, so high volume, a lot of cars okay transported. Okay, and for the PCEC, it operates on routes with mixed cargo demand. Why did I say mixed? It's because um, since it's a pure car truck carrier, here it carries heavy. So meaning they can carry cars at the same time, buses, and trucks. Okay? And at the same time, they can also carry sometimes helicopters. Yeah, it's that it's that big or how heavy. So you just imagine easy will carry a helicopter. Okay? And also heavy equipment materials or for construction materials, like as I mentioned, like backhoe, bulldozers. Okay? Those are real cargo that are heavy. Okay? And number two, difference between PCC and PCC is that for PCC, it focus on rapid, meaning fast turnaround for uniform. Okay? The same cargo, high volume, all the same, all cars of the same. Like, for example, if you are from Korea and then you will transport uh, Hyundai. I don't know if I pronounce it correct. Huh? It's Hyundai uh, type of cars. Okay? So they are all the same uniform. Okay? Which is dedicated only for car route. Okay? So, oh, but for the PCTC, it operates on route with mixed, alright, cargo, which requires more complex planning. Meaning, when you say complex, it's different planning for different cargo towage demand. Or when you say towage, the area, alright, or the space provided for the car. Okay, so there's a mix. In short, there's a mix cargo when it comes to PCC. You can carry or you can transport heavy lift and light. No, sorry, not heavy lift, heavy type of cars. Okay, and also at the same time, it can also carry light. Okay, light vehicles. Okay, that's the difference when it comes to operational focus. Alright? So, this beer car carrier, I'm sorry, this Roro, I mean, are vehicles, alright, which is driven directly onto and off the ship via ramp here. Here, this one. Okay? This can driven directly. Alright? They can unload, they can unload and load cars via ramp. This one, okay, the ramp, okay. So making loading and unloading fast, okay. And also, if your car carrier are multi uh multi-story, this one, the pure car carrier is a multi-story parking garage, okay, on the sea. Okay, imagine this is a big car park, like for example, the mall. Here in our place, there is a big car park. So just imagine a floating on the sea. So uh, that's how a pure car carrier I can describe. Okay, so there are for here also there are a lot, okay, a lot of what you call this, decks or levels here. There's a lot of levels here, maybe around 10 to 12 decks for the PVC, all right, for the pure car carrier. But the only disadvantage is it has a low clear height, okay? Low clear height, okay? And most decks have, very limited, only the uh, as the size of the cars. So that's how the height of the deck, okay, is between the deck. Very limited vertical clearance. Alright? So just enough for the cars. Okay. So in order for the the cars to be maximized, okay? To be maximized. Now, for the ramp, it's actually it's fixed here in okay, it's fixed. Alright. Now, examples for the cargo for here, the cargo, like sedan, okay, like SUVs, uh, van, alright, like pick up, okay, like smaller commercial van, motorcycles, they can carry has a limited versatility, meaning it cannot really carry heavy and oversized cargo. Alright? So the but the purpose for this is that they are this is flexible also. The PCBs are flexible. Okay? So when it comes to design and structure, these are the key difference of the two rural vessels. Alright. So yes, we I hope you have already an idea. You had an idea about the PC, the difference between the PCC and the PC. Okay. So uh, let's just think of the PCC can transport light wheeled cargo. Okay. While the PCCs can carry heavy wheeled cargo, including helicopters. Okay? So, let's move on to reefer vessel type. Okay. This reefer vessel, just imagine a refrigerator, our fridge at home. Okay? So, you just imagine that it's a very big refrigerated cargo ship, the reefer. Okay? Of course, this is also a specialized type of ship. Okay? So whenever you can hear about reefer, alright, think of right away a refrigerator, our fridge at home. That's what a reefer vessel type is. Floating on the sea. Okay? Alright. So this one is designed, yes, exclusively to carry or to transport a temperature sensitive cargo, meaning the 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 cargo that carries a reefer, okay, there's a certain temperature needed, okay? There's a certain temperature needed for that. Okay. Now, maintaining that that temperature should be maintained, okay, in a cold condition all throughout the voyage. Okay? Like if you travel from one place to another, okay, one port to another, the temperature that should be uh that should be uh maintained is in a specific cold condition. Okay? All throughout the voyage. Okay. Now this is an example of a reefer. This one. Reefer type of vessel. This one. These are the fridge or the the containers of the 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 cargo. Okay, this is what they call reefer. Okay, like a fridge. Now, uh, it says here that why are reefers needed? Okay, reefers are important because it carries perishable goods, meaning there's uh, sensitive, okay, goods inside. Like for example, for our fridge, we have fruit, we have meat products. Okay, so whenever you take out those products, okay, outside our fridge, there will be spoilage. why this research is important. Okay? So, in order for the meat product, okay, for the fruit product, for the seafood to reach in your plate, from our plate, okay, we need this preferred type of vessel. That's why it's called because of global demand. Okay, another reason why reefers are needed is that yes, quality preservation. Okay, quality preservation meaning you will preserve, okay, your product, okay, in order to have, uh, in order for the shelf life, okay, the shelf life of the product in a good quality as soon as it reaches your plate. Alright? So that's also the reason why refers is needed. Okay? Now, another reason is because of the pharmaceuticals and chemicals. Alright. Pharmaceuticals and chemicals. Okay. Listen here, everyone. Recently, we had a COVID-19, right? Okay. So, this vial, the, the containers of this vial is medicine, okay? The vaccines, alright. The, 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 the vaccines are supposedly to have a certain, okay, a certain temperature in order to preserve the content of that. That is why it is transported, it was, okay, it was transported using this reefer type of vessel. Okay? And also not just the vaccine. Some medicines also are needed, okay, to have a to have a certain or a strict temperature. Okay? And also the medicine. Okay. So did you have now an idea why reefers are needed? Not just like for the food, for the meat products, for the seafood, but of course the pharmaceutical and chemical, okay, for the medicine, for the vaccine, and that requires a specific, okay, strict temperature control. Alright. So, okay. The key design features of a reefer type. Okay. Now, this reefer type is in has an insulated hole. Another key design feature of a reaper. It has a powerful cooling unit. Yes, in order to maintain, okay, an exact or precise temperature. Okay, so the reason why it has a powerful cooling unit, okay, to maintain, okay, that exact temperature, ranging from chilled to deep frozen. Okay, now question, what is the normal chill temperature? What is the temperature for that? Okay, it's from 0 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius. Alright, so that's around 32 degrees Fahrenheit to around 41 degrees. Okay, so could you just imagine how cold the reefer, okay, inside the cargo hold, okay, and the deep frozen temperature, deep frozen, okay, meaning it's around negative 25 degrees Celsius to around 30 degrees Celsius. Alright, so that's negative. So it's really cold, deep frozen. Or maybe in the Fahrenheit, that's around negative 13 to around 20 or 22 degrees Fahrenheit. So I know in your case you're not amazed with the negative temperature because you're used to it. So it's deep frozen is negative 25 already. Okay? And the third key feature, the third key design feature is that it's a sophisticated sensor and control system it has because these sensors, okay, these sensors, um, it controls and it continuously monitors, okay, the temperature inside the insulated hold, cargo hold, okay, and you can adjust the temperature of it, okay, you can adjust, alright, but it should be from chill to heat frozen, okay, for as long as chilled, okay, in in a deep frozen temperature, okay, it's fine. That's the purpose of the sensor, okay, in order for the temperature will be monitored. Okay? Now, uh-huh. The type of vapor vessels. Okay, this is an example. This one. This is an example of the vapor. This one. It transports, says here that it's a banana. Yes. So, this banana is like it's from the Philippines. Okay, this is a product of the Philippines. And for sure, it will be transported in your place and to other places also. That is why this is placed, the bananas are placed inside the river in order for this product will arrive to your place fresh. Okay? So, we have here the types of river products. We have this one. We have the reefer, container sheet, and we have a pallet friendly reefer. Okay. Now, when we say reasons are the disadvantage. It's expensive. The maintenance is intense. Okay, and the cargo product becomes sensitive if not properly handled. Okay? Alright. So let's move on to our third type of cargo vessel. Alright. The first one we have the ro-ro. The second one is we have the reefer. Now we have the passenger vessel. Okay, as we can see, this is an example of a passenger vessel. Okay? This could be a cruise ship. This could be a ferry. This could be an ocean liner. Alright, as we go on, I will discuss this one by one. Alright, so let's have cruise ships first. Okay, this is called a floating vacation type of vessel. Alright, cruise ship, you just imagine that this is a floating resort or a floating restaurant or a floating hotel. Okay? Alright, that's a cruise ship. This is big. Okay? Nice. Now, this is a passenger ship. Passenger meaning can transport people. Okay? Used for pleasure voyages. Used for relaxation. Okay? Not just the pleasure, rather than for transportation. Okay? So, basically, a cruise ship is a floating resort, a hotel, a bar, and a floating restaurant for pleasure voyages. Okay? Alright. So, this cruise ship, yes, provides a resort-like experience. Yes, there's offering entertainment. There's a bar. There's a club. Okay. Dining accommodation, a restaurant. So, it says here that passengers typically return to the same port of embarkation at the end of their journey. Alright. So, meaning the people on board or the passengers, alright, after they dock in a port, they return back here, okay, of the same place where they park. Okay? Alright. So, okay. Their key features. Yes, this is a cruise ship. It has, can you see the deck? You have one, there's below, huh? So, maybe this is also one with more than 10 decks, I guess. Okay? There are cabins, luxury suites. So, meaning it looks like a hotel. There are cabins or luxurious suites here. And it has dining venues. Meaning you can dine here, you can eat here. Okay? And there's also entertainment. There is a band, there is a bar here, alright? Also, there's a recreational facility, like also, there's a gym here, there's a swimming pool here, right? So, this is really like a floating everything. Alright? So that is the difference of the cruise ship to a ferry. This is like an extension of the road. Alright? Okay. So it says here that there are key characteristics. Okay, let's talk about the ramp. Okay, it also have bow, okay, turn the back part and the side. Okay, for a fast roll on roll off loading and unloading of vehicles. Yes, it has also ramp. It has bow, it has turn, or it has side. Alright, for a faster loading and unloading of vehicles. Now, these vehicle decks are open. Okay, they are open like this. Here, it's open because this is only an extension of the road. Okay, it is open and sometimes it's semi-enclosed. Okay, semi-enclosed. And for the cars, for the trucks, okay, and other wheeled cargo. Alright. Now, for the passenger deck, of course, there are lounges, there are seats, and the basic, of course, there's toilet, right? Minute. And there is a small cafeteria, there is a small shop, just small basically for the passenger deck. And it has only it has a shallow draft. Okay, shallow. So, um, the difference between the cruise ship and the ferry is that ferries can only carry lighter type of wheeled vehicles and of course the passengers. Although it has of course bow, turn and side, but it can only transport in a short voyage. Okay? Now next, there are types of ferry. Okay? There are types of ferry. One is a car ferry. Car. Okay? Basically, from the name itself, it transports cars, trucks, and passengers. And there are also passenger ferries. Yeah. Primarily for food passengers that often used for short crossing or commuter routes. Like for example, if you will just travel for about 30 minutes. Okay? Yeah, that's passenger ferry. You travel often using this type of ferry for a short distance on. Okay? And there are also high speed ferry. Example for this are the catamaran. Okay? The catamaran. Or hydrofoil. Okay. Now, which is normally designed, this one, for a faster travel. Okay? For the passengers. Okay? Let's say, for example, if the passenger ferry can cross for around 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour. Okay? And for the high speed ferry, maybe double the speed of the passenger. Okay? It is bigger, much bigger for the passenger ferry. So, as I said, the example for this is the Tamaran. Okay. We also have train ferry. Okay. As the name itself, it carries the entire railway. Carries the whole railway train. Oh, can you just imagine how big this one? Alright? Okay? And for the row back, there is, yes, this is a combination of a roll and roll of side and a passenger. carry. Okay. It says that cargo carries beyond passengers. Alright. These private vehicles like our cars, our motorcycles, the caravan, those are examples of private vehicles, right? And the commercial ones are the trucks, the vans, the buses, okay? The ones often carrying goods, those are commercial vehicles, okay? And then the freight or freight, palletized goods, and the containers, okay? And for the train, yes, you mentioned the entire railway. And the bicycles, yes, it also carries bicycles, of course. Okay? Okay. So next is how are they uh how's the operation of this? Okay? And the route of the ferry is normally it's only short, okay, voyage. Just connecting from let's say Jeju Island to a place near to that. Okay? Just across the river, sometimes lake. Okay? That's short crossing. And for the commuter route, remember the passenger ferry? Yeah. This is essential. This is important for daily travel in uh, coastal cities. Okay, nearby places on. Okay, and then uh, longer international route. There is also a longer international route. Okay, like connecting countries across it, like Europe to UK. Okay, Japan, Korea. Okay, it can also be the ferries can also be used here for a longer international route. Okay, and the only thing is that it has a scheduled service. Okay, there's a fixed timetable. Okay, like for example, if the ferry will leave at 6 a.m. Okay, always. Okay, it leaves 6 a.m. every day, or sometimes in a day they will travel multiple times. Okay, so next is the advantages of this. Okay, of course, uh, of course, one is the convenience. One is the convenience. Okay, easy travel. Okay, and secondly, the the views, the scenic views. Okay, so you can relax in a while traveling or while crossing the lake or the river or the across the sea. Okay, so yes, you can relax travel, I said, and cost effective. Okay, and it's more economical using a ferry. Alright. So when we say environmental, we're talking about this locally. Um, it it sometimes decongest the city, the road. Okay, it decongest. Okay, especially in our place, only our rivers really that nice, that good. Okay, we can use the ferry also to decongest the highway or the area. But some countries have used this one. Okay, consideration. Um, you have to consider also because sometimes emitting or the discharge of gas, okay? So you just imagine how you pollute the water, not just the water, also the air, okay? So it's quite disadvantage for the environment, really. But we can do anything because that's a way of how we decongest the city, okay? And also there's a noise pollution, okay? vehicle for their purpose. What is that? Okay? The key design characteristics. Okay? Alright. Here, the ramp, okay, for loading, okay, and unloading, alright. Dedicated with special desk, okay, passenger amenities, okay, and open shallow drop. That is the key design characteristic. That makes very suitable, okay, for their purpose. Okay? There's a ramp for loading and then unloading of passengers and cars. There's a dedicated vehicle there. Yes, the open and the semi-open. Yes, there's passenger amenities. As I said, there's mini shop, there's a mini store, but often shallow drop. Alright? Those are the key design characteristics of a ferry. Okay, kind of supporting trait. Okay? So next, we have, alright, for question number 6. So what are some advantages of choosing travel or choosing ferry travel? Okay. What is or what are some advantages? Okay. So, of course, the convenience. Okay. The convenience. Why? Because you bring your own car and then you you carry it or you transport it with you by using a ferry travel. Okay? Then the scenic view. And for a time, you can relax also. Because you're not driving your car. And the cost effectiveness for vehicle transport. Okay? So those are the advantages of using a ferry. Okay? Convenient. Okay? Because you have your car with you as soon as you need to park the ferry. And at the same time, the scenic view. Then you relax because you're not driving at the same time for a while. Okay? So, for question number 7, alright, it says here that do all ferries operate on short routes or are there different operating ranges? Okay? So, is that all the ferries do? Okay, on short routes, operate on short routes? No, because, okay, they operate on short commuter routes in long international voyages. Not just like on short routes, but also in a long international voyages. Okay, so it's both. Alright? Not necessarily it operates on short routes. Alright? Also, in a long international voyages. Okay? So, for number 8, it says here that what are some environmental considerations for ferry operation? Okay. So, what are those considerations? Okay. I mentioned that already. Okay. So, it says here that managing emission is the noise pollution and brake effect with a push for cleaner fuel. Yeah, these are the environmental considerations. Okay, you have to consider the emission or the what you call this the discharge of gases that you emit. Okay, of course, the noise, the noise pollution. Okay, all that is you have to consider because of our environment. Okay, I think that's the only disadvantage. But other than that, I can say that it's only, but it's quite disadvantage. car can park by itself. And of course, there are a lot of technological advancement made. Okay? Now, for question number 10, we have what is the specific role, alright, of berries in island community? What do you think is the specific role of berries? Okay, let's now. They are vital. Okay, they are vital lifeline. Yes, it is providing uh, uh, important transport for residents. Okay, not just like for the residents, for the passengers, for the supplies also of that specific island and of course the region. Okay, once you are in a separate island, okay, or once you are in an island, okay, the role of ferries are important. And what are those? Yes, they are vital, lifeline, because it provides transport for the residents, for the food, medicine, for the supplies, okay, and tourism also. Okay, so next, okay, we have here the third type of passenger vessel. It's called ocean liner vessel. The third type. Okay, because we have cruise ship, we have ferries, and this one is the third type. Ocean liner vessel. Alright. So when we say ocean liner, this is a passenger ship also. Okay? But this is designed with schedule. Okay? Now, like for example, it will transport for long distance transportation across oceans, primarily the Atlantic Ocean. Okay? So, this is a passenger ship, ocean liner, but for long distance transport, like let's say days, alright, to transport passengers for days. Okay. So, what is the purpose of that? Okay. Now, basically, it transports passengers, but sometimes cargo also, and mail. Okay? Between a fixed port, okay, and often across continents. If before they use ocean liner, really they use ocean liner. But since because of the technology improvement, we have now the airplane. Okay? Okay. So the key design features. Okay. This ocean liner can they can withstand it is built, okay, to withstand rough ocean. Okay? It can really withstand. That's why it is built to that. Okay? Ocean liner. And to make sure to arrive, okay, on the fixed schedule given, okay, and the stability, okay, for the passengers, okay, for the stability of the passengers' comfort during that long voyage, okay, during that long voyage. All right, okay, and the capacity of the cargo, okay, yes, there is a space for the specific cargo, like for the mail, for the cargo in addition to the passengers. There is a specific, okay, capacity for that. And characterize, remember the lesson that I mentioned last Monday? There is a multiple, like 2 to 3 smoke stacks, okay? What is a smoke stack? This is like the chimney, the funnel, right? Okay. And a long, narrow hull. Okay. Long and a narrow hull. What is a hull? The front, the body. Okay. So those I mentioned are the key design features of an ocean liner vessel. Alright, so next. What is their big role in history? History, okay? History. What is their big role? Okay, this is what I mentioned earlier, that the main way to travel between continents before are airplanes. Alright, now, through this, it carries, yes, of course, a lot or millions of immigrants, okay? Business travelers and tourists, okay? And it, of course, symbolizes luxury, speed, and national pride. Like, for example, in your place, like you have your Korean airline, there is a Philippine airline, right? So that is a symbol of luxury, okay? With the national pride. Alright. So this ocean liner is built, yes, built to withstand strong rough seas, okay? And then their quick, fast engines, okay? They have quick, fast engines. And of course, as I mentioned, there is a multiple smokestack, okay? There's a long, there's a slimmer shape of hull. Alright. So, I don't know if it's a luxury on the way, but many were like a floating paracel, okay? The grand room. That's what they said, a floating paracel, okay? How can you say that it's a luxury if there's a big wave that you encounter, right? So, it had different classes. So, there's a first class, a second class, a third class for passengers. Of course, when we say first class, this is much long distance travel. Okay. Now, people no longer need a slow ship travel for transport. Yeah, they no longer need. Okay, and it's expensive to run. All right. So, what's left of them now? So, these ocean liners converted into cruise ships. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So some since ocean liners are not active nowadays, they converted it into a cruise ship. about what are cruise ships built for. Okay? Yes, it's built for comfort and the amenities. Comfort. You're relaxing at a comfortable cabin, luxurious suite, right? That's comfort. And which type of ship is focused on transportation? Oh, just mentioned that earlier. So, what type of ship is focused on transportation? Okay, yes, of course, it's the ocean liner, right? Okay. So, which type of ship is focused on vacation? Yes, of course, it's the cruise ship, right? Floating, luxurious ship. Alright. So, next. So, is this a good picture for ocean liners? Of course, yes, because they were built for speed and strength. Okay. So, next. Is comfort a good feature of a cruise ship? Yes, of course. They are built for comfort. Yes, of course. And what design aspect was important for ocean liners to handle? So what design? Well, the strength, of course. The strength is very important here. Okay? For rough is wide because it travels through Atlantic Ocean. And that is a long voyage. So the strength is the most important aspect, design aspect of the ocean liner that it can handle. Alright? Next. So what design aspect is important for cruise ship? Alright. It's the amenities. Right? It's the amenities because you have the swimming pool, you have the restaurant, you have a very nice cabin, you have a very nice uh, bar, alright? So that is the most important design aspect. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're done. Okay. So let me just have a review what we have taken this morning. So we started with the Roro vessel, right? We started with the Roro vessel, and then the type or examples of the Roro vessel are the PCTs and the PCTCs. And then we have the passenger type of vessel, right? We have number one is the cruise ship. The second is the ocean liner. And the third one is the ferry. Okay? And then we have also examples of the different types of that. The purpose, the function, the key difference of each vessel, and examples also. So, for our next lesson, for our 21st week, again, we still have